My name's Ronnie Nichols, and this video is going to be to demonstrate some of my techniques and my homemade jigs that I use on guitar repair and buildings. We usually measure the action at the 12th fret. Now Frank Ford had some information. I don't know how accurate this is. It's accurate from Frank, but everybody's got a little different way they want to set up a guitar. According to Frank, I think this is the measurements that he had from Martin. What I learned to do is I took the measurements that Frank Ford gave me for Martin, and that was 7/64 and 5/64. 7/64 on the 6th string and 5/64 on the 1st string. And I bought 2 drill bits, a 7/64 and a 5/64, and the end of them measures just the same as the business ends, the other end of it does. So I made this tool, and what I do is I use this to measure the height at the 12th fret. Now I've already checked the set of the neck and the relief in the neck. It's got a little bit. Now here's our little tool that I described. 7/64 drill bit, 5/64. We're not going to use the business end, we're going to use the other end. Now here's the 7/64. We're going to stick it on the 6th string at the 12th fret. And you can see that string is moving. And here's the 5/64 on the 1st string. And you may be able to see that moving. But it's got a little bit of play there. But here's the way I set mine, and you could make your tool with any size drill bit you want to. To me, it's easier than trying to read that scale, especially when you get my age. You can't see as good as you used to. So here's what I do next. As I get my feeler gauges out, this is a little small set, and let's see, there's 14 thousandths. Let's see how that works. Needs a little bit more than that. 24 thousandths. Let's see what that does. It's getting mighty close. Let's just call that 24 thousandths on the 6th string. And the 1st string is about 24 thousandths too. So we need to drop the action down by 24 thousandths right here. It's the 12th fret. Now, first time I did this, it was kind of confusing. I had a hard time wrapping my mind around it, but you got to take twice as much off the saddle as it measures at the 12th fret. So 24 times 2 is 48 when I went to school. I guess it still is. I don't know, they've changed a lot of stuff. But we need to take 48 thousandths of an inch off the bottom of this saddle. Here's the saddle. Now here are some loose feeler gauges that I've taken apart. It was on a, started out on a set. I took the screw out of them where I can stack them up, but here's 3. I don't know what gauges are. They're marked on there, but what I'm interested in is the thickness. So we're gonna, I hope we get that where you can see it. 48 thousandths. That's what they are. They measure stacked up. And there's the 0 setting. Now we're going to lay these down here. Now obviously if you had to take more off of one end or the other, you couldn't mark the whole thing together. But this one needs to come down about the same on each side. So we're going to take this little razor knife here. Going to get everything lined up. And we're going to make us a mark. Now we could do this with a pencil. But a pencil line is got a wider dimension than this little mark we're going to put on this. So now we've got a mark here. It's 48 thousandths of an inch. I'm going to darken it with a pencil here so it'll show up on the camera better. Now, I hope you can see that. It's got a pretty dark little line there. Now we're over here at my little disc sander. It's a homemade job, but it's got 80 grit paper on it. And we're going to grind this saddle down to that line right there. Now we got this ground down to that line. So here we are back at the workbench, and we're going to put these strings back in here. Alright, now we got the strings all up to round standard, and here's our 7/64 measurement. And if you can see that, that's just right on it. And here's the 5/64, and you can see that it's mighty close. Wouldn't say it was perfect, but that's mighty close to the standard measurement that, according to Frank Ford, and I found it to be pretty good for bluegrass type music. So I hope that maybe you can use some of that. Maybe you can't.